Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Today we are start with the chapter 1 for the evolution of management accounting. Okay, so this chapter they are discuss the evolution of management accounting. Before we have the development in the management accounting nowadays. Okay, so the first is you need to know definition by the management accounting by the IFATs. So what IFAT define of the management accounting as the process of identification, measurement, accumulation, analysis, preparation, interpretation, and communication of information. So this is definition you already covered in the management accounting 1 and management accounting 2. Okay, so the same basic that you need to be clear that management accounting only the process for the internal purpose. You need to identify, they need to measure, accumulate all the information because commonly for the management, the top management, most will be some of the top management they don't have the accounting background, so they need to depending to the management accountant to advise to prepare all this information before they are make a decision making. Okay. So what are the argument by the Johnson and Kaplan? They recognize that they are discussed that management accounting lost its relevancy as did not it did not provide adequate support to manager exposed to the reduced global competition environment. Because why? Manager need all this information, the current information, the global information, because they need to go to prepare themselves to compete with the competitors, for example. Okay, but they identify that management accounting is lost relevancy. Okay. So, due to such sophisticated changes in business environment, available management techniques were found to be inadequate and were not able to cope with the industry need that. Okay, and you need to be clear that what are you learn in the management accounting 1 and management accounting 2, the technique that we are introduced in both syllabus, that one we call as traditional method. Okay, you learn from the what's FIFO LIFO. You are calculating for the manufacturing of it to calculate the OAR, overhead absorption rate. You have the cost volume profit. You have the budgeting. So that one we call as traditional method or old method. Okay, but the argument is in management accounting, they identify that this method they are inadequate technique that they are using to support, to assist manager in make decision making, because the manager need to adapt with the global environment. Okay, but the this article they are proposed to come out with the new technique or new tools to overcome to overcome the weaknesses or the lacking in the traditional method. So what they are introduced is we have the ABC, activity based costing, but ABC I think you already learned for the calculation part in the MA1. We have ABM, so activity based management is continuity from the ABC that they are introduced. We have the balance scorecard, target costing, value engineering. So this is some of the new technique that they are proposed by the argument by the Johnson and Copeland. Okay, so this technique we are covered in a next chapter after this. Okay, so then Malaysian manufacturing companies are found to largely employ traditional management accounting to meet the internal and external reporting. So once the movement, the progress of the development of the management accounting, but they identify that Malaysian, especially from this article, they identify that most of the Malaysian manufacturing companies still reluctant to transform themselves to the a new technique. Okay, because why? most of the Malaysian manufacturing company, they identify that once they have transformed the company to the new technique, they need to incur more cost because they need to buy the new system. Then they need to provide their staff for the training. So the changes, the transformation will have the more cost to the company. So that's why the Malaysian manufacturing company, especially the small and medium company, they still reluctant to transform the new technique. Okay, but what are defined by this article, the support by the OMA 2003, they are show that Malaysian owned companies are comfortable with the traditional method such as standard costing and budget control. And some smaller company has been rely on the financial accounting database. They are still not have the initiative to transform to the new technique. Okay, but the largest company, they are still they have and multinational corporation MNC, they are try to apply the new management technique, but that one not the whole of the technique they are using. Okay, so therefore there is a need to develop a stable management accounting best practice model yang diproposed by the IFAC. Okay, what are the new management accounting best practice model yang diproposed by the IFAC? Basically, there are combination between the old technique and the new technique because they don't want to drastically change the the tools that commonly using by the uh, uh, companies, okay, by the organization. Okay, so this is the diagram for the transformation of the evolution of management accounting. If you look at here, you have four stages. Okay, start with the cost determination and financial control, information to management planning control, reduction of the waste and resources in business process, and creation of value through effective resources. Okay, so we look at the first stage. So this is prior 1950. So in this stage, most company were focusing on the cost determination. Okay, so they are focusing only to the cost determination and to allocation of overhead. So in this process, in this stage, they are using the technique which is FIFO, LIFO, ratio analysis and budgeting because that one focusing on the cost determination only. Okay, for example, for the we are recording for the pricing of the material. Okay, so we are use first in first out will be because we need to determine cost that the company need to incur first. Then also because we are focusing to the cost, so we have the one old tool which is budgeting, because budgeting we need to estimate, we need to forecast the cost that will happen in future. Okay, second stages we have the 1965 and 1985, the progression, the development. They are focusing on the um, generating information for the purpose management planning and control. Okay, for the planning and the control. After they are try to focus on the reduction of the cost, the second stage they are focusing on the planning and control. Okay, so what are the common tool that we are using is the CVP, because with CVP we need to plan, we need to estimate our numbers of unit that will be sold to cover all the costs and all the expenses. So that one is CVP approach. Same goes with transfer pricing because for the planning purpose, and responsibility accounting were introduced on this stage. Okay. The third stage, we are focused on reduction of the waste and process analysis. Okay, we try to cut down all the costs and we are trying to reduce any waste, any non-value added activities. Okay, non-value added activities is all the costs that not give the benefit to the customer or the third party. So we try to eliminate this cost. So in this level, we are start introduce the new tools which is just in time. Okay, for example, just in time. For example, for we are purchasing the raw material. So we for the just in time technique, they are not keep the raw material in the store. Okay, because once we are keep the more storage, the more material will be the company need to incur cost for the storage. Okay, then will be the company has tied in the financial because they are need to spend for the purchasing of the raw material. So just in time, we try to eliminate all these costs, okay, and we are purchase the material on time once we are need to use one production request, okay. And activity based costing means that we are determine the cost of the product using the ABC, okay. And the last stage, this is stage 4. So that one is they are try to develop the system, the technique whereby this level they try to enhancing the creation of the value through effective use of the resources and technologies. And during this time, they are trying to transform from the labor oriented to the machine oriented. And for example, they have the re-engineering. Re-engineering, for example, we are using the technology side. For example, we have the robotic, okay, robot to to make sure that our production the run smoothly. So we are cut down the labor, then we are transformed to the machine oriented. Okay, we have ABM, total quality management, because we are focusing to the quality. Okay, so this is the 4 stages in the evolution of management accounting. Okay, so that is the to implement this stage, this 4 level, then I first provide the guideline or the standard that need to followed by to make sure that management accounting best practice. So the first characteristic of the guideline by the IFAC is we need to clearly identify manager function. Okay, once we are clearly or distinctive our manager function, so all the stages for the evolution of management accounting will run smoothly. Okay. Second is utilities of the word outcome. So we assess the management accounting function in terms of accountability. How do we are the criteria or the performance evolution? What are the KPI by the every single organization? Okay. The third one is value of the work process and technologies, because in this, for example, in the fourth stage, we are trying to transform from the labor oriented to the machine oriented. So the value of the work processes and technology. Okay. And the last one is function or capability related with the concept. Okay, whether the company is able or have the capability to apply to adapt with the evolution of management accounting. Alright, so that one is for the evolution of the management accounting on the first chapter. Okay.